All right, this is Jim McKenzie of Concord and Nate LeVay of Exeter. We're here at the 2018 High School New England Cross Country Championships. We're about to get the girls' race underway here. Our meet sponsor is Tim's Truck Capital in Epsom. And as always, Runner's Alley is our sponsor today. Jim, guys' race, pretty messy out there. Top two teams were the top two teams. What do you think we're going to see here on the girls' side?
Well, I think you're going to see a change this year with Champlain Valley going back to the top. I think the dominance of the New Hampshire teams last year, they'll still do well, but Champlain Valley seems to be the class.
Yeah, and they've already run here this year. Obviously, they dominated the Manchester Invitational, kind of took it to the New Hampshire teams there. So they're familiar with the course. Hey, the great equalizer. We just saw Hendricken get upset. Maybe the mud can be the great equalizer in this race. You never know.
Right, we kind of saw that coming too. LaSalle earlier in the season just wasn't even, you couldn't even compare the two. And then last week they got closer, and then today they just shut the door down on them.
They sure did.
So you never know what might even happen in this girls' race.
Yeah, some teams peak for the state meet, other teams are looking to peak for the Nike regionals. So it depends where their training's at, who's healthy, and boy, the wind's really picked up for this race.
One good thing, you got a tailwind to start. You go up the hill.
Get pushed right up that hill.
And then you got probably one of the messiest courses that I've seen in a while.
Yes.
Down in the lower sections. But still, the boys ran pretty fast.
Yeah.
They when you put that many good guys together, I mean, the best kid won, a 9:08, 3,200 meter man. So probably the same thing's going to hold true here. The best girl will win today.
So do we think it's going to be Kate Weiser from Connecticut? Is she the favorite?
I would think she is the favorite.
Weird saying that when the girls returned 5 of the top 10 from last year, and last year's champ is back. But yeah, I would say Weiser's probably the favorite. So only a sophomore.
Yeah, she's tough, but I think we have Sophie Reynolds, and how can you count out the defending New England champion?
Yeah, I'm not
Julia
counting them
Robitaille. So she lives right here.
Yep. Yeah, Reynolds has had quite the season. It'll be interesting to see if she's there at the end, because she looked so strong the last half mile at the Meet of Champs last week. But yeah, I would agree with you. If New Hampshire is going to make a mark in this race, I think it's going to be with some of our individual girls up front there.
Exactly. Caroline Fisher, she's tough. Maya Doobie, Lauren Robinson.
Yep.
So there's a lot of girls there that are stacked up. Don't forget Corinne Robitaille.
Yes.
She was basically in a tie with her sister last week.
Ran an excellent race last week.
She was all New England last year.
Very different course today. Speaking of different course, so the top team last week was the Exeter girls team. Flatter course. This week we're back onto the hills, where you would think that would kind of lean towards maybe a Co-Brown girls team or a Pinkerton Academy girls team that ran really well at D1s. Those three, if they put a good race together, they could maybe get a top 5 podium finish.
Yeah, definitely. I think Pinkerton is going to be a little bit hungry today. I think they have a really good shot, and they seem to run well here.
They do.
But Exeter and Co-Brown, can't count them out. Hey, Oyster River, look how they popped up last week.
So it looks like the girls are lined up, just waiting on the starter right now.
Sophie Matson of Maine is also another one you want to watch. She was the Maine state champion, and she's a tough runner.
The 2 Champlain Valley girls will probably be right up front there as well.
Hey, how about the freshman coming in second place in the New Englands?
Pretty incredible.
No flash in the pan there. That kid's had a great season.
Yes. Almost stole it too.
Unbelievable, huh? Just strong.
Elizabeth Sullivan of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. She was 8th last year.
And they've got a very good team,
She was blazing last week. Different course, obviously. Rhode Island state course a little flatter than this one.
Danbury and Immaculate from Connecticut.
They were close, right? Like one point, yeah. So the team races figures to be pretty close after Champlain Valley.
The toughest part about this broadcasting is knowing everybody's uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
It's brutal.
I was struggling with the guys one, too. We know the New Hampshire uniforms. Those are easy to spot, but we'll do our best with the other. Trying to grab a bib number.
Well, flags.
All right,
there's the whistle.
And they're off. Wow.
All right.
This is a bigger race than the guys' one, I would say.
Looks a lot bigger. But the numbers are supposed to be equal.
They're supposed to be the same, but geez. So LaSalle and Hendricken went right to the front in the boys' race. Let's see what if the girls' teams we factor to be up front there go right to the front.
This Champlain Valley, they're right where they already want to be.
Yep. Helps with the
Bonnie Eagle, we didn't even mention them. No. They're the main state champions,
yeah,
led by Delaney Hessler. She's tough.
They got 2 girls right up front right away.
All right, here we are at the girls' race of the 2018 New England Championships. Seeing the runners come around their first curve.
Looks like the New England champion from last year, Julia Rubitaille, is taking the lead right away, setting the pace for the race. That's kind of cool to see. Palma Sophia's right there behind her.
Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and Pomperog. A couple from Champlain Valley.
And then the large group. And once again,
here comes the majority of the field.
Yeah. Everybody gets tricked up in this spot. They don't know where the course is, and then they end up having to get back onto it.
Well, interestingly enough, some of these teams have seen this course before, even this season. We saw a lot of our New England favorites at the Manchester Invite earlier in September. But you're right, some of these teams
tried to avoid that puddle right there.
Yeah.
All right.
And here they come. No real separation yet. I do see a blue. I expect that to be Julia Rubitaille making a push. I also see the red. Can assume that
Reynolds is up there.
Kate Weiser is up there as well.
Yep. Bright red, easy to spot. Maya Doobie's up there.
So Kate Weiser, Sophie Reynolds right at the corner. Both Rubitaille sisters.
Caroline Fisher up in the top 5.
Girls taking this corner a little bit more timid than the boys.
Still some falls. It's gonna happen no matter what. It is very, very slippery out there today.
So the leaders we expected to see at the front is who's up there nice and early.
I think they're really gonna push hard going up these hills though, so I expect to see some separation from that top 5 because there's a lot of really talented girls up there.
Oh yeah, and with the pack through, we will see what we have for separation at the 1 mile. Throw it over to Nate LeVay and Jim McKenzie.
Here's our leaders. Pomperog girl right up front, Weiser. Yep. No surprise there. 2 Rubitaille sisters and Fisher.
Sophie Reynolds. So we got
and Sophie Reynolds. So we got New Hampshire's got 4 of the top 6 right now.
Caroline Fisher, 5 out of the top 6. 5 out of the top 6. Condell.
Man, Champlain Valley, look at them go there. Champlain Valley team right up top. Violet Sullivan, Exeter is 1. Very tough to pick out the girls. Just so many runners in this one.
Well, there's 3 in the Champlain Valley, so they're winning, but not by a lot yet.
Yeah, we won't see the separation until after, they kind of get up to that hill and spreads out a little bit more.
Pinkerton girls kind of dug themselves a hole again, but we saw what happened last.
We saw what happened at D1s. Yeah,
they got themselves out of it.
Cole Brown and Exeter are kind of far back too right now, so we got some work to do as New Hampshire team-wise.
But definitely, this isn't D1.
No,
this is New England.
This is not D1 this week. Everybody's good this week.
Oyster River girls, 3 of them right there. To me, even though we have an extended, this always seems to be the most competitive race, top to bottom.
Yes,
I really
absolutely
believe New England's is.
Well, I mean, you got to qualify to get here. You got to run well to get here, especially if you're an individual.
You just can't show up.
No.
You're good. You got to be good.
I feel for the individuals because they really got to bring it 3 weeks in a row. You can't have an off race as an individual. All right.
Here come our leaders up the first big hill. Pomperog's.
Pomperog's taking a lead.
Who is that in second?
MV Sophie Reynolds.
And battling
Oh,
for third
yeah.
and fourth, Julia Robitaille
And Sophia Spellmouth.
from Portsmouth, Rhode Island.
No.
Caroline Fisher
Go, Alice. Come on, Alice. Push
coming
up,
up in
push up,
fifth
Alice.
with
You got this.
leading the
Nice
pack
job,
of a bunch of runners.
So the girls' race is looking a little different than the boys.
Most
They're
definitely.
more strung out.
CVU.
You see some packs, but
Let's go, CVU.
definitely more strung out.
BG's got 2 on the top 20, Caroline Fisher
Yes.
and Caroline Toll.
A mixture. A lot of the Champlain Valley has gone by at this point. I know that they're a team favored for the win. We've seen a lot of their shirts.
So even a little bit colder than I think the boys' race was.
The wind's picked up a little.
How does that affect these guys, you think?
I don't know. I think once you're moving, I feel like once you're moving, they're probably warming up.
Yeah.
We don't see too many. We see a few people with arm sleeves or gloves, but not too many.
A lot of brave athletes out there, that's for sure.
Yeah. They're powering up the hill, fighting.
You got this.
You know, I always say if they did the right things on their warm-up, then they shouldn't be too cold during the race.
That's always the key.
You got this, Morgan. Let's go. Nice job.
All right, let's see where they're at for mile 2. Here's Kate Weiser powering through.
Wow, what a lead! Oh my goodness!
She has put on quite a gap from the next.
Oh
it looks
my!
like, yeah, wow, this is a bit. And she's going to the downhill to pull away even more. We have New Hampshire's first, Sophia Reynolds of MV. She's got a little bit of gap on the third. Sophie of Falmouth. Then Julia Robitaille and
Caroline Fisher.
Caroline Fisher took the lead on her.
The downhills, okay? You're doing great.
Spreading out. This is even spread out more from when we saw them at the top of the hill. We're at the 2-mile point here. I didn't mention that. So they've just come up all of those hills, and now they got a long downhill ahead. So, wow, I just can't get over how different this race looks than the boys' race, and how much of a gap Kate has put on. Yeah, how much of a gap she put on from the rest of the group.
Incredible.
Yeah. We've seen, once again, Champlain Valley. We've seen a few Conval as well.
More from New Hampshire starting to show up here.
Here we go, Carly, let's work.
Yeah, there's quite. We're seeing.
An incredible race from an individual standpoint.
Go get it.
Yeah. Because right now we're starting to see all the teams and where the teams are. A lot of the New Hampshire teams happen to be back here a little bit more, it looks like.
Which still could displace as far as a team score is concerned. You could get,
Right.
you know, it could be anybody's race. Every place counts.
Yes. Yes. Such a just strong race. Cool to watch.
Everybody's working hard.
That must be Bonnie Eagle, those bees.
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
that would make sense.
I know
to
that
me.
they're a strong team in Maine.
Yep.
So it's just kind of, New England brings all of these great runners together. It's cool to see.
Especially at our home course in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Seeing how our New Hampshire teams battle against their top teams from New England on a course like this, we're all pretty familiar with.
Right. I think that's where, even in those few individuals at the front, there was a decent amount of New Hampshire sprinkled in there.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, all right. Well, we've seen the majority of the pack run through. We'll bring you down to mile 3, and eventually the finish should be an exciting one.
Yeah.
14. 34 now, and no surprise here. Here's Weiser from Palm Rock, Connecticut. She way out. She cruising too.
She's efficient, she's small, and she's fast, and that's what's the difference today on a muddy course.
Looks like she did her research too. She's taking the path of least mud.
You see her stride length? She's just ripping it.
Very impressive.
You guys are on the course.
Hey, the camera.
Here comes number 2, Sophie Reynolds of Merrimack Valley. Only a freshman.
Sophie Reynolds, and then you got Sophie Matson from Falmouth, Maine.
Caroline Fisher.
Julia
Robitaille. Conval. Corinne Robitaille.
So we've only had one Champlain Valley come through.
You're right.
We've had
Now two Conval.
Two Convals.
Here's another Champlain Valley. So here's there 2.
Lauren Robinson.
Yep.
Caroline Toll. Comes Addison Cox.
So that's a Cole Brown one.
Another
Champlain Valley number 3.
Yep.
Not dominating like we thought. Here's a Conval 3 right here.
You remember Champlain Valley had a week off too.
Yeah, they did.
They just put the scores together.
Conval.
There's Champlain Valley's 4th though. Champlain Valley's 5th.
Right, so Champlain Valley's got all 5 by us. There's another Cole Brown. Here's a Pinkerton one.
Let's flip it around. Let's see Kate Weiser. Flip it around. And I'm gonna head up.
Yep, go for it.
Way to go, Kayla!
So here comes Kate Weiser. Still with a commanding lead. Just cruising. Finished 8th last year at New England's. Looks like she's going to be the champ this year. Really strong runner. And in second position here is Sophie Reynolds. Get chased down by the main one. What a heck of a season for Sophie Reynolds.
And there's our leader, Kate Weiser.
He's from Rock, Connecticut. Got a big lead. She's got about 20 seconds until 18 minutes. So she'll be pretty close to 18 flat, which is only slightly slower than she ran at the Manchester Invite this year. She won that race, the large school race, by about 10 seconds. So she finishes unofficially 18:03.
Awesome race.
That is a really fast time for the conditions today.
So the way it was looking, I'm back, Jim McKenzie. The way it was shaping up, Champlain Valley was doing pretty well. They were coming right in there.
We see our second place now. That is Sophia Reynolds, Merrimack Valley, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's top New Hampshire finisher on the podium. That's good to see.
Yeah, she looks good for another freshman. So we're gonna have 2 freshmen coming second in both races. That's amazing.
That's pretty impressive, especially, you know, for freshmen. A lot of times the long season's pretty hard on them.
Looks like Sophie Matson, if she can hold on, from Falmouth, Maine. 3rd place.
It's Greenwich.
Champlain Valley's first. Team to watch right there.
Caroline Fisher.
Right through. Right through. I got you.
Portsmouth top runner. They were the state champions last week down in Rhode Island.
Robitaille sisters coming through. Conval with their first.
Yeah, both Robitailles right in a row.
Maya Doobie of Kearsarge.
Nice race by her. Comes Lauren Robinson, Milford. Champlain Valley seconds coming into view. Caroline Toll.
Bishop Girton second. Caroline. Another Portsmouth. Sauhegan.
Tough conditions out there, and they're still, still under 20 minutes at this point.
This is some hardcore cross country.
Champlain Valley, what's this, third?
This will be their third, I believe, yes.
Champlain Valley's fourth coming into view.
Another Sauhegan, that's their second, I believe.
And there's 5 for Champlain Valley.
Wow.
So
they look good. Just found a second.
They've got it wrapped up.
Cobrown's second.
Addison Cox, Violet Sullivan.
Exeter.
Pinkerton with a pair.
Exeter, obviously the defending Meet of Champions winners on the girls' side.
So a day like today, I mean, you're either, it favors the strong runners or the really efficient runners. The in-between runners, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, today is a tough day to be racing. But that makes for some exciting races because a lot can happen. People fall, struggle with the mud, you know, the cold, so can see some upsets on a day like today. But it looks like Champlain Valley pretty strong out in front.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about them. Hard to tell from there, though. I mean, team-wise, the runners got so spread out.
It was pretty tight. You know, so many runners coming in at once. A lot of teams coming in.
Oh yeah, when they're coming in 4 wide, that's spots you have no idea what's going to happen with.
Yeah. I think individually, New Hampshire looked pretty strong, although there are a lot of strong other New England states on the team side.
Absolutely.
Portsmouth, Rhode Island looked to be pretty strong. They won the Rhode Island meet. And then LaSalle, obviously. Champlain Valley looked really strong today. And then the top New Hampshire teams being Exeter, the winners last week. Cobrown, second last week.
Yeah, I mean, after Champlain Valley today, you can't tell because it's 4 or 5 wide finishing.
And the recognition of the uniforms is so tough.
Oh yeah,
you know, and you don't know who's an individual and who's not.
Right, and even some of these teams are wearing different uniforms than they usually do.
But all in all, in both races, the boys and girls, bottom line is the fastest kid won.
Yeah.
You know, you had a 9:08 2-miler who's probably the best runner, most talented, and in the girls' side, she was clearly the favorite.
Yep.
You know, Kate Weiser. So
definitely.
And I mean, we could see that within the first 1,000 meters that she had come to race today.
Yep.
Yeah, especially having the win on this course earlier this year, and then she won her state meet by over a minute. So pretty dominating from her.
It's a brutal day. It's a brutal part of the course, but you know what? It's the same for everybody, but it's how you deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
The mud section down where you make the turn by the red maple tree, it is just so bad, the mud. But there's probably not a course in New England that's
right.
You know.
Oh, every course at this point, any course that's a New England caliber course is going to be beat up at this point in the season because we use it. Everyone uses it.
Yeah. Even the NCAA regionals last week, I was talking to Coach Hopper from UNH. There was just 2 inches of mud, and snow, and crap. But hey, that's cross country. We're not in Arizona.
Oh yeah.
This is real cross country, and that's what you like about fall.
And I mean, even a lot of these runners have said, you know, they all like running in these conditions, even though it's, you know, it's difficult, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
All right, as the numbers start to thin out, once again, this has been NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runners Alley. Meet Hub brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital. This has been your 2018 Girls New England Championship race here at Dairyfield Park, in Manchester, New Hampshire. Been a phenomenal season. Looking forward to watching some fast races at regionals.